In San Diego, the guards hurry to find a missing swimmer in the frigid waters.
She had dropped her father off at La Jolla Cove. Normally the swim will take around 35, 40 minutes. It had been over an hour. She'd gotten nervous and decided to come up and report it to the lifeguards.
She's alert and oriented times 2, and is showing signs of hypothermia and exhaustion.
Then, Lax Beach offers up some unique challenges for the lifeguards.
We do the exact same things here that everybody else does on any other beach, except we have skimpier swimsuits.
The lifeguard will come on scene and ask if they wouldn't mind putting their shorts on.
While in Huntington Beach, units respond as a biker falls head over handlebars.
First things you think about right away is head injury, possible cervical.
And in Long Beach, it's high speed and high danger for the lifeguards.
If you're going into a turn at 100+ miles an hour, you better be sure you can make the turn and have the guy next to you make the turn as well.
Something happened on the race.
Just had another accident.
We do got 2 guys in the water. They rescued them on their quick boats. They just went by us at high speed.
Welcome to La Jolla, California, known as the Jewel City. This beautiful seaside community enjoys over 300 days of sunshine each year. The calm water here makes this area ideal for snorkeling, scuba diving, and open water swimming. But the weather has brought a change in water temperature that is concerning the lifeguards.
Well, it's summertime right now, and typically our water ranges from the high 60s to the low 70s, really warm water. The last couple days, we've had some upwelling of some cold water that has created unseasonably cold conditions in the water, so we're in the low 60s.
It's only 9:15, and the day's first emergency begins to unfold.
Did yesterday, and where does he normally land? Right here, or over here by the bathroom?
I had a young lady come up to me, let me know that she had dropped her father off at La Jolla Cove at 8 o'clock. Normally the swim will take around 35, 40 minutes to get from the cove to La Jolla shores. It had been over an hour. She'd been waiting on the beach for him, got nervous, and decided to come up and report it to the lifeguards.
If the missing father has been swimming in the 61-degree water this whole time, severe hypothermia could come into play.
Would he have turned around and gone back to the cove, you think?
I don't know.
The water is been chilly the last couple of days.
For lifeguard PJ Liebig, this line of work has always been in his blood.
My dad was a firefighter and a paramedic for 30 years, so I always wanted to do something in public safety. And as I got a little bit older, realized lifeguarding was a great avenue to do that.
As a veteran lifeguard, PJ has seen many things, but none stick with him like his first rescue.
2 girls were just walking in the shallows, about knee deep. The rip current that day was just cranking, as strong as I'd ever seen it. They got swept off their feet, and they were just getting pulled out that rip unbelievably fast. And then they went under. I knew they weren't coming back up. I grabbed the rescue board, I threw it in the water. I paddled as fast as I could. I looked down, and the water was clear that day. And I could see down there, and they were just both about 5 feet under the water, holding on to each other. So I was able to dive under the water, grab them both by underneath the arms, and pick them back up. And to my elation, they both took big breaths as soon as they got up in the air. It was the biggest difference between life and death I'd ever seen.
No, believe me, that shouldn't take that long.
Short dispatch.
Dispatch.
We were fielding a report of an overdue swimmer, a 59-year-old male, who left the cove at 8 o'clock. He's 30 minutes overdue.
Lifeguards from all surrounding beaches scan the surface of the water for the swimmer. In today's cold conditions, he could be hypothermic and running out of time. Nearly 100 miles north of La Jolla is Long Beach, California. Sheltered by the wind and the sea, Long Beach is one of the biggest boating hotspots on the West Coast. And at the heart of Long Beach sits its pride and joy, Marine Stadium. This aquatic facility is one of a kind in California. Originally built to host Olympic rowing in 1934, this mile-long stretch of water has been home to maritime racing for over 75 years. And the competition keeps getting faster. Once a year, powerboats arrive in Long Beach to compete in one of the largest races of its kind. Robert Hamilton and other Long Beach lifeguards will be on patrol all day, working alongside paramedics as part of a larger rescue team.
Coming up to Marine Stadium, which is generally the water ski area of Long Beach, but today it's closed for the Sprint National races. As you can see, this is a confined space. Rocks all the way surrounding it, so you have a possibility of getting some serious accidents and crashes here. Speed and confined space don't go together. Hopefully there won't be any major accidents and everybody can go home and be safe.
Another worry for the lifeguards is the weather. If the winds kick up during the race, the results could be catastrophic. On the straightaway, these boats reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour. And when they crash at this velocity, the water is no soft landing. It's a sport that claims lives every year. Today, the difference between life and death could hinge on the response time of these lifeguards.
We've had a fatality at this race in the past, so anything is possible today.
Lifeguards will lie in wait on the outskirts of Marine Stadium, keeping a close eye on the races and deterring traffic from entering. The morning event passes without injury. But the winds begin to pick up just as the fastest boats are launched. The Cracker Boxes.
The Cracker Boxes date back to actually Long Beach Marine Stadium in 1938. They are basically a blown and injected big block, anything goes motor with over 1,000 to 1,500 plus horsepower, straightaway speeds upwards of 130 miles an hour.
And that design has never changed. The boats have modernized. They're fiberglass now versus made of wood. The engine is always set in front of the two drivers, and the second person was always an observer or like a mechanic.
These are one of the classes that we really watch out for because these guys do have a tendency to flip.
There's the start of the race with Miss Madison going on in first place. Thunderbolt with Mike Daly in the third race boat.
They all got to make that turn at the same time. That's when it gets fun.
If you're going into a turn at 100 plus miles an hour, you better be sure you can make the turn and have the guy next to you make the turn as well.
The wind plays quite a factor in these boat races. We have what we call a blowover, where the vessel gets air underneath it and will flip.
But the impact in the water is huge if you come out of a boat. It's like if you were going down the freeway at 70 miles an hour in your car and opened the door and jumped out.
We've got something on the course. They just shut off the flares. It's a warning flares, meaning something happened on the race.
Just had another accident.
We do got two guys in the water. We're gonna hang back.
As lifeguard Hamilton maneuvers out of the way of the high-speed rescue boat, the lifeguards find themselves in a race of their own.
They rescued them on their quick boats. They just went by us at high speed. They take them over to what we call Marina Park area, pretty much what we call scoop and run. We have the rescue teams from the race, we have lifeguards from the beach here, and we also have Rescue Boat 3.
The wind got under one of the Cracker Box boats, causing a high-speed flip. The passenger's face has been bloodied by the impact, but it's his leg that has everyone concerned.
Yeah, it hurts. It's going away. It hurt real bad when it first happened. Okay.
As for the condition of the driver,
Howdy, guys.
he's just grateful to be alive.
How do you guys like that? Yeah, I'm good. I thought maybe I hit it. I think it's okay. Was trying to get ahead in the first turn. I was on the outside lane. That was a good lane yesterday, and just caught an edge going around the corner, and it just decided to go over on me. It's not something you plan on.
Crying.
You remember
like my leg.
Remember the crash and all that?
Yeah. I did this as a favor this weekend. Usually I'm in the other seat.
I'm feeling fine. I feel very good. It was a good day to take a swim. This is fantastic service. It always has been with the safety people here. And I've been in the water here before. I can always rely on them. Boy, I barely flopped up on the surface and these guys were in the water with me. So it's really a good thing, really a good thing. Sprint boat racing.
Luckily, both of these men are able to walk away under their own power. But for them, the race ends here.
And nobody died today. Everybody went home safely. And that's the key for us, is everybody to go home safely. So that was a good day.
Go back out. I'm going to see if I can get the boat running again. I got to beat those guys this afternoon. 100
miles down the Southern California coastline in La Jolla, lifeguards are on the lookout for a 59-year-old swimmer who's gone missing in the unusually cold water between La Jolla shores and the La Jolla Cove. The man's daughter contacted lifeguard PJ Liebig when her father was over 30 minutes late returning to shore.
We immediately started doing a scan of the area. We looked off our beach here and we saw a large group, about 20 divers, waving for some assistance. So we responded with a jet ski and with 2 lifeguard personnel.
We got divers waving for help and they have a person fitting that description for the missing swimmer. So start medics to the main tower, we're launching Jet 3.
When the jet ski got on scene, they found that it was the tired swimmer, and that same tired swimmer ended up being the father of the young lady that came and reported him missing.
Dispatch copies, possible diver emergency, requesting medics to the La Jolla Shores Tower.
When we were first going, there was a group of divers, and one of them was holding the individual in their arms in what we call a cross-chest carry, so they had their arm over the top of his chest. And from the first look of it, he didn't look to be very active. And so my first thoughts were we need to start patient care and transporting him back as soon as possible.
He's alert and oriented times 2, and he's showing signs of hypothermia and exhaustion.
It's definitely water temperature would be a big thing with this individual. He was suffering from hypothermia.
Immediately, we wanted to address any medical issues. So I just wanted to do a quick evaluation of how aware he is, if he has any altered level of consciousness at all. Immediately, we got a blanket for him to help warm him up. So we were able to walk him directly up to the boardwalk here, transport him quickly to paramedics.
He's been in the water for a little about an hour and a half.
Started in the cove. His daughter had just come up to us, started feeling a little worried about it.
So you were just tired, you never submerged, anything like that? Huh? Never submerged, anything like that?
I pretty much stayed up all the time.
Okay.
Did you just get tired?
Cold.
It's cold. Cold for you.
All right. I'm going to put this on your right arm, okay?
Really cold, very tired, which is not a good case scenario when you're out on the water and pretty far offshore. The medics wanted to do a good evaluation on him. They thought maybe they could just warm him up and release him to the family. But when they tried to get a temperature on him, his body temperature was pretty low. They're having a hard time getting a good vital signs on him. So they decided to transport him to a local hospital.
This is Huntington Beach, one of the most beautiful beach towns in Southern California. As the air pressure increases, the temperature begins to rise, and the wind carries away the clouds, clearing the sky for a perfect beach day.
It's a beautiful day. This is a great day. It's pretty warm. It's probably at least in the low 80s on the sand. You get all that heat coming off the sand and it starts to heat up everything else. And so that, coupled with the fact that we have just a little bit more surf today, it's going to make the day just a little bit busier.
Veteran Marine Safety Officer Tony Villalobos has been protecting Huntington's beaches since he was a teenager.
Probably like most tower guards, when you're 16, 17, 18, you're looking for a job just to get you by in school. And anyone who swims or surfs or grew up down here, it's a natural pull. You want to work in the area. This is sort of like the glamour job. It's a great job. It's just like any other service job. There's pros and cons. There's days that are very, very long and very boring, and there's days that you just can't believe how busy it is. 10-10-4 from Tower 5.
No, it's all good. I was by myself. I figured I'd just pack you guys up.
We need to go back and grab a backboard. We have a lot of different variables to our job. Obviously water rescue. There's been days in my career where I've saved maybe 20 to 30 people in one day. Okay, thanks guys. Then of course you have to deal with law enforcement. You didn't hit your head or your neck or anything else? No.
Just,
Okay.
I felt
Just
flat
on your shoulder. And then you throw in the whole mediclades. You have 100 different type of mediclades you can perform in one day. There's just no such thing as a regular day.
Bike accident in front of Jack on the bike path.
So we're responding to a mediclade. This is a bike accident. First things you think about right away is head injury, possible cervical. It could be something as minor as if I just stubbed my toe, or it could be something major as a person fell down, hit their head, and is unconscious.
Lifeguards in Huntington are trained EMTs and are the first responders to many medical calls on the beach.
But we're going to get to the scene and do a quick survey and see what we have and go from there. When we got here, we found one victim laying down on the bike path. He was conscious at the time, but the bystanders had said that he had lost a little bit of consciousness at first. He wasn't wearing a helmet. There was obviously some visible signs of a head injury.
The report of a victim having been unconscious may suggest signs of a serious head injury.
We advised him at this time that we want to go ahead and try to package him, put on a seat collar, and have the medics come and take a better look at him. What we're going to do is we're going to move you onto our backboard. Go ahead and put your legs down for me.
Okay, you know what, guys?
Yes.
I honestly don't know if I want to be put on a backboard or...
It's very common for people to not want help. There's a little bit of embarrassment factor having ambulance, fire, paramedics come. So we have to try to let them know this is pretty major. You were unconscious for a little bit. Yeah. This is all free. Everything we do is free. Everything that, this is just to keep your neck and your back just in line, just so we can have the medics come down, take a look. They can further assess you, obviously, making sure that nothing else is wrong, obviously. Great. Go ahead and put your legs.
Since the hidden dangers of head injuries can often go initially unnoticed, lifeguards request a higher level of care.
We went ahead and did a full C-spine, immobilized them, put them on the backboard, strapped them down. We now transfer care to medics. When the medics got here, they said, we're going to go ahead and transport them to the hospital. Probably take them into Hoag and get a full check and x-rays and everything else there. I'm glad I was there to help them. It feels good.
Isolated north of San Diego, along the bluffs of Torrey Pines, lies Black's Beach. This 2-mile stretch of coast poses a unique challenge for lifeguards.
Up here at Black's Beach, we get the most intense calls. Anything that happens here is complicated. Nothing's done easy, but it's just beautiful. We have the nature reserve. We've got peregrine falcons, bobcats, all kinds of diverse wildlife. The surf's great. The water's some of the cleanest in San Diego. It's a beautiful place to be.
With pristine water and smaller crowds, Black's Beach is a nice option for anyone looking to soak up the California sunshine. But for some beachgoers, tan lines won't be an issue.
Black's Beach is one of the largest public national beaches in the world. It is probably the most known in the world. A lot of people think because we're nude that anything goes, and it couldn't be further from the truth. You can do anything here that you would do on any other beach. That's the easiest way to explain it. The same things, we do the exact same things here that everybody else does on any other beach, except we have skimpier swimsuits.
Even though this beach has a laid-back dress code, lifeguards know it can produce some of the most serious calls. In March of 2011, one of those calls occurred.
We received a 911 call from our dispatch that there was a lady in distress on the cliffs, and she was in a precarious spot. She was probably mid-face on a 300-foot cliff on a tiny little ledge that basically was just big enough for her to stand on.
Lifeguard Lisa Darling, along with a full cliff rescue team, responded to Black's Beach.
And once we got on scene and we were starting to get our equipment to go over to access her, further information been that she was naked.
The nude woman had failed in an attempt to hike down the cliff to Black's Beach. She was hopelessly stuck when lifeguard Darling rappelled down to her.
She was very relieved that I was there. She was scared, she was cold, and she basically was so happy to see me. She almost wanted to give me a hug, and I said, no, please don't do that. Just, you're in a bad spot. Let's get you down, and then we can talk about it.
Thanks to the lifeguards at Black's Beach, the woman was safely rescued. And while a lack of clothing will never prevent them from doing their job, they admit it isn't something they prepare for.
It's weird. I mean, there's no way to say it's not. It's definitely a strange, unique part of the job working this beach. And the guards that choose to work up here, they know going in that, hey, that's part of the deal. There's a lot of great things about this beach, but there's some weirdness about it too.
We're just doing it with our clothes off, same things you do. play volleyball and hang out and swap recipes.
The nudists see this as a way to express their individuality. This expression, however, poses a challenge for lifeguards. Although most people choose to go to the beach in a swimsuit rather than a birthday suit,
It'd just be too bizarre wearing clothes and getting sand in my suit.
the nudists see this as a way to express themselves.
You're constantly pulling and tugging, it shows bulges. It's just so much easier not having to worry about it. I'm a proud nudist. Not everybody is. For a while I wasn't. I was worried what my friends would think, what my family would think. So we're not going to judge people on what they look like. You get people down here, young, old, thin, heavy, scars, women with mastectomies, and nobody cares. They're a person. The body is just, it's just a shell.
As you can imagine, anywhere that people are out in public and they're naked and anybody can come down and see naked people, it's going to present problems. They don't want problems down here, so they'll actually come and report to us people that, are shady characters and ask us if we could see what they're up to. They want a safe environment down here, and so do we.